Well, I must congratulate you, Mr. Samaras, for getting the Greek presidency off to such a cracking start. Your overnight successful negotiation in the trialogue on MiFID, I'm sure, will have them dancing in the streets of Athens. No matter that your country, very poorly advised by Goldman Sachs, joined a currency that it was never suited to. No matter that 30% are unemployed, that 60% of youth are unemployed, that a neo-Nazi party is on the march, that there was a terrorist attack on the German embassy. No, don't worry about all that, because the trialogue on MiFID has been a success.
Oh boy. All right, that sounds like a rosy picture. All right, joining us right now is Peter Morici, economist and professor at the University of Maryland, Newsmax contributor, wrote a great piece at newsmax.com about the Greek default and how it will discredit the leader of Germany. And Peter joins us. Hello, sir.
Hi, how are you?
All right, good. I find this a very interesting take on the Greek default. You say that it's coming. Give me the connection to Germany.
Well, essentially, Angela Merkel imposed this austerity program on Greece as a condition for the bailout. The thinking was that it would create growth, and her and the director of the IMF refused to back off that position. They're saying now more austerity. Think about it. The economy has shrunk by 30%. Youth unemployment is at 50%. So now what do they want to do? They want to cut pensions at the bottom of the pay scale? That's absurd. I mean, clearly austerity has failed. It's time to call a halt to it and find another solution. But you see, Christine Lagarde and Angela Merkel, they'd have to quit their jobs. They would be the losers. And let's face it, Angela Merkel worries about the future of Europe, but she worries more about the future of Germany, and she worries most of all about her future.
Sure. Well, what if Greece does go under, as you say, is inevitable? What does it mean for us here in in the world markets? Does it matter now as much as it used to matter the first time around with Greece?
Actually not. They've essentially socialized most of the private debt. It's now in the hands of the IMF and the Greek and the German government and the French government. So they're the people who are going to lose. This is not like Spain or Italy going under, where there's still a lot of private creditors. So it shouldn't have a large impact. The real significance will be how this is handled. Do they let Greece stay in the European Union without difficulty and just have its own currency like Britain? If they do that, Greece can recover and thrive. If they punish Greece, it's likely to have a very deleterious effect on trade and commerce and the state of the global economy. It'll be a major breakdown of Western unity.
Well, you mentioned trade, and that's a natural segue you just provided me, Peter. I thank you for that. Your latest piece out this morning is how Congress cannot trust Barack Obama to negotiate trade deals. And, it's funny, because I went back to Mitch McConnell and his victory speech in November, where he promised no government shutdown, which was a silly thing to do, if not a stupid thing to do. And, of course, he talked about areas of agreement with the president, and all I heard was trade, trade, trade. Send us a trade deal. Let's do a trade deal. Trade, trade, trade. And you're saying don't trust Obama to do that.
Well, the trade deals are extraordinarily complex, and they really dig deeply into domestic regulation of foreign products. And so it's very hard to calibrate them. And we've seen from global warming and the CO2 negotiations with China, Mr. Obama is inclined to put all the problems of mankind on the backs of former American presidents and American capitalism and give away the store. What's more, he's been told by a full spectrum of industry leaders that currency must finally be dealt with. And he's been disinclined to do that. The reality is he will not negotiate a good deal for America. So it'd be best to punt to the next president.
Yeah, interesting. All right, let's talk about briefly. We got about a minute and a half. There was a decision today from a Texas court halting Obama's executive order on immigration pending further legal action. Of course, the administration says they're going to appeal, and they will appeal. Is this a ray of hope, a ray of light for those who don't want that executive order to go into effect, and for the Republicans who who are going to face some heat if the Homeland Security Department is shut down over this?
Well, the states really have an interest in this. The president has not only run roughshod over Congress, it's run roughshod over the states. The Constitution provides that the senators represent the states at the federal government. After all, he's legalizing 4 to 6 million people, or quasi-legalizing them, and imposing enormous benefit burdens on the states in terms of their welfare programs. That's an absurd thing to say that the states anointed representatives in Washington that were put there by the by the framers of the Constitution, don't matter, and that the states don't matter. 26 states objecting to an executive order. The president's basically falling back on the notion that this is foreign policy. This isn't foreign policy. This is a grabbing program for the National Democratic Party.
Right.
This is a setup for the 2016 election.
And we've heard about the loopholes that would allow the illegals to vote and get back tax benefits and everything else. Hey, Peter, great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Take care.
All right, Peter Morici, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we brought him back because yesterday we had some technical problems. Roger Simon on his piece, #JewishLivesMatter. Don't go away.